Yo, what's up? Welcome to the Ant-Man channel. It is Tuesday the 16th of September 2014 and I'm your host Ant-Man. Excuse me. I have an article in front of me right now from WND.com. It is under the column Faith. It is written by Bob Unruh. You know, I've read a lot of articles by Bob Unruh and he usually is on a very good level. He's level-headed, man. He knows what he's talking about. He's not really like trying to antagonize or joke around about any issue. He points out very good facts and you know what I mean. I don't read articles from any type of journalist that is playing around and I only read the top trustworthy journalists out there. I just started reading the Christian Post a lot, but the more that I read out of that place, it's like I realize that the evangelical community is whacked and a little. I like to use the word that Todd Friel uses, wonky. They're like, you know what I mean? They really are, because they're compromising their faith in many ways, and they're being hedonistic. They're teaching man-made formulas to, you know what I mean? Like, for example, the Daniel diet. Yeah, so I'll get on the Daniel diet because it's so biblical. Anyways, let me get into this. So yeah, like I said, I only read from the top, most trustworthy news journalists. So yeah, this is exclusive. God-loving Americans confront filth peddling Satanists. Tens of thousands voice opposition of Black Mass in heart of Bible Belt. So this was published 49 minutes ago, and this is hilarious, I think. Really, it isn't, but I mean... Are you kidding me? What in the world is going on in OKC, man? I mean, there's something else over there, man. I mean, they're totally, the discernment is out of the window. It's gone. It's gone, son. All right. Promoters of a Black Mass satanic ritual planned in Bible Belt capital Oklahoma City say they have sold out all 88 tickets to the event scheduled for the Municipal Civic Center Music Hall September 21st. But tens of thousands of people have signed 2 different petitions calling for the cancellation of the controversial activities. TFP Student Action, which works to defend moral values on campus, has announced a public act of reparation at the city building at the time of the Mass. Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin summarized the general reaction to the plan in a statement. This Black Mass is a disgusting mockery of the Catholic faith, and it should be equally repellent to Catholics and non-Catholics alike. It may be protected by the First Amendment, but that doesn't mean we can't condemn it in the strongest terms possible for the moral outrage which it is. Well, the Catholic Church is all about the pagan arts as well, but they're not going to tell you that. Most people don't even understand that. It's a perverted form of Christianity. It's not real. It's work-based, meaning that you have to do something in order to get saved. The Bible does not teach that. The Bible teaches that you are saved by grace alone, that you accept it as a free gift, and that you don't work for it. Good works are not like it's not a means to becoming saved. It is a fruit. It is the fruit of salvation. Repentance is the fruit of salvation. So good works comes from the heart of someone who is repentant, someone who's been regenerated. It's not a means to bribe. You know that you're bribing God when you do that, right? You know you're attempting to bribe God when you pray to Mary, when you pray to saints, when you think that you can't get to Jesus Christ without having to venerate saints and stuff like that. That is absolutely evil, man. God does not. God looks at that and it is detestable to him. And I'd rather fear God than fear a Catholic Pope or whoever is influencing you to follow that faith, because it's not good. It's not Bible based. You don't even read the Bible. You read the what is it, like the Catechism or something like that? I don't know, but they don't. You know what I mean? Like they don't want you to know the truth. It's like Mormons and like Jehovah's Witnesses. You know, they make you read other books that are based on, and it's pure evil. You're using the Lord Jesus Christ to promote a cult or to promote a pagan religion, and it's really, get out of that, man. Open your eyes. You don't need to be a part of a big institution and feel all cool about yourself because you're in a religion or whatever, dude. It's not about all that. And like I always say, it's like it's really weird to me that people even attempt to even be cool and religious at the same time, because it's an oxymoron. You're submitting all of that for salvation. You're giving up the pleasure of sensuality and licentiousness in this world, abuse of liberties because of what others might think about you, and because you want to get your testimony to become strong and influential and more. You want your faith to become more appealing to other people, so you lay yourself down for others. That is not what you know what I mean. You don't learn that, and you know what I mean. And it's just it's a shame that so many people out there today they'll come up to me and they'll say that's not right for you to say that. Well, no, you don't know anything. I've studied a lot, and I don't know about you, but I have strong convictions of the truth, and I know that I'm speaking the truth, and that you need to get out of that stuff. Get out of religion. Religion is all bad, all of it, and it's not a religion. It's a relationship with Jesus Christ is what the Bible's about. It's not about religion. It's not about keeping rituals and traditions that have been passed down to you from weirdos that dress up like they're living in the freaking the Middle Ages. You know what I mean? It's just stupid to me. A lot of those people are part of Bible prophecy, and they're the harlot of Babylon. They are called they are called pretty much the harlot of Babylon. They're not good. They're influencing people to worship the devil through symbols that represent saints of the Bible, but they are actually, you know what I mean? They're like they hide the real meaning behind it. Like there's always some kind of pagan god behind it or something. It is shocking and disgusting that a group of New York City Satanists would travel all the way to Oklahoma to peddle their filth here. I pray that realize how hurtful their actions are and cancel this event. WND previously reported the events are organized by a satanic group called Dakma of Angra Mainyu, which has leased space in the Civic Center Music Hall. City officials said the event will be held to local and state laws, but it would not be stopped. All activities during the event must abide by our local ordinances and laws, including laws that govern nudity, lewd acts, ritual sacrifice, as well as building codes for open flames. City officials told WND the Civic Center Music Hall is not underwriting this event in any way, nor paying for outside advertising. Individuals wishing to attend must purchase a ticket to get in. This is ridiculous. But many people, well over 170,000 as of Tuesday, contend it shouldn't go on. Well, yeah, they're invoking evil spirits, opening portals, whatever. I don't know. They're doing something weird, and this is not gonna trickle down very well in society, my friend. Like I told you, many people in our society are very much programmed to become licentious and to take advantage and be opportunistic of these type of things. So, the petition by TFP Student Action will be which will hold a prayer meeting as St. Francis of Assisi Church in Oklahoma City prior to the protest at City Hall is directed to Civil Center Music Hall official Stephen Sharp, Mayor Mick Cornett, and Fallon. It stated, "With my whole heart and soul I express full, complete, and vehement rejection of the satanic black mass scheduled at the Oklahoma City Civic Center on September 21st, 2014. I urge you to cancel this event which offends 1 billion Catholics worldwide, 200,000 Catholics in Oklahoma, and countless more God-loving Americans. Sacrilege is simply not free speech." They're like, whoa, we're pagan too, but we're not that open about it, I guess it's in a Catholic church or whatever. If you don't believe me, man, go look up a Jesuit under the name of, oh man, I hate how I forget his name. I hate it, but the only picture you ever see of him is like he's kind of like facing to the side, and he's got like the beard, and like he's he's the guy that pretty much invented it. So look up the Jesuit order if you don't believe me, that they're a rogue element within the Catholic Church that practices deception. They're not the only ones, there's Freemasons, there's Zionists, there's all kinds of different secret societies and occult religions that are hiding in plain view. They worship Satan. They practice deluding themselves so that their conscience never bugs them when they know what they're doing is wrong. They have been banned from countries all over the world. But we don't know this today because they're not taught that. When you go to public school, you learn that Christopher Columbus discovered America and shut up and obey and worship authority and shut up. That's what you learn in public school. A second and separate petition of city officials at citizengo.org already have collected 84 signatures. It states, "We write you in order to voice opposition to the Black Mass scheduled to take place September 21st at the Oklahoma City Civic Center. A Black Mass is intended as an attack on another religious group, namely Catholics." Well, I would say mainly Protestants, because, I don't know, man, we worship the true God. We don't worship an idol. We don't worship an image, something that we create in our minds. We worship God as He is, straight up, and we tell you the truth. And these Catholics, they don't tell you the truth. Neither do the Mormons. They're all told to lie to you, and it's sickening. It really is sickening, because you're not going to listen to me. You're going to listen to the guy he's up on the stage, and he looks, and he has the robe on, and he's just, I don't expect you to believe me. I don't want you to. Go look at it. Go look it up yourself. A black mass is intended as an attack. The ceremony revolves around the desecration of the Eucharist, which requires that a host be stolen from a Catholic church. The organizer of the event admitted to stealing a consecrated host, although he has now returned the stolen host after facing a lawsuit on behalf of the Archdiocese. It is clear that his intention to defile stolen property in a government facility should raise questions of basic appropriateness. While the Constitution protects freedom of expression, it does not protect stealing property from others and desecrating it. We implore you to take a stand in favor of public decency by canceling the Black Mass. The Daily Oklahoman reported, it's a funny name, said the Black Mass has created a veritable firestorm. The report said the mayor's chief of staff, Steve Hill, said the office has received 1,000 emails protesting the event's presence at the city facility. Archbishop Paul Coakley said, "I am calling on all Catholics of the Archdiocese of Oklahoma City to counteract this challenge to faith and decency through prayer and penance." And Bishop Edward Slattery said, "As a part of satanic worship, a black mass attempts to invert the action and meaning of the Eucharist in order to mock Christ's sacrifice and worship Satan through an orgiastic ritual of pain and perversion. It blasphemes everything which we hold as sacred and redemptive, and the spiritual dangers it poses ought not be dismissed. Since the Civic Center has not responded positively to the pleas of the Archbishop of Oklahoma City not to host this event in a taxpayer-supported public venue, I am asking the faithful Catholics in the Diocese of Tulsa to fight this blasphemy through prayer and fasting. God isn't listening to your prayers, son. You go to God through Christ alone. Not because you're eating a Eucharist. The Eucharist isn't even given in the scriptures, you guys. You're not supposed to do that. That's all like, these are all like pagan sun god worshipping like rituals, like sacrilege. It's all dark, and it all represents really very, very blasphemous things, man. When you see Jesus Christ on the cross, like if somebody has a cross hanging in their church and it has the Lord on it, that is absolutely bad. He's not on the cross anymore, you guys, and we don't want to glorify that. That's really not good. When you continue to sin, that's kind of like what you're doing. You're re-crucifying him. You know what I mean? It's just a bad thing to imagine that they do that. But yeah, that's totally all bad. The Eucharist is not given in the scriptures. What is given in the scripture, though, is that you can do this. You can partake in something. And it is very good too. We do it every first of the month at the church that I go to. It's you eat a little piece of bread, and it resembles, or it symbolizes the body of Jesus Christ that He gave as a sacrifice for you. And then you drink a little bit of grape juice, and that actually represents His blood, and that you're under His new covenant. But there's nothing about some kind of Eucharist in it. I think you're taking that, you're doing something bad right there. The National Catholic Register reported a lawyer said the city facility could have compiled with First Amendment issues and still rejected the Black Mass because of its hatefulness and violations of community standards. It's one thing to allow different religions to come in and celebrate their religion. It's a whole different thing to allow a group to come in that seeks to desecrate and insult another religion, Michael Caspino of the Butch and Caspino law firm told the organization. You see, I always oh man, I can't believe how much I'm pushing this book right now, but this book really did open my eyes a little bit, man. missionisrael.org, go check it out. Donate if you can. I think the guy gives it to you for free if you don't have anything to donate. Oh my goodness, man. I mean, the points that he has in this book are amazing, because the people that wrote the Constitution, they allowed open, like, deism of anyone you want, because it says that you are not allowed to pretty much tell anybody what they can and cannot worship or whatever. But if this country was built off of Christian principles and off of the Bible, then we would have had a constitution that said that you shall serve God alone. And some of you out there probably are going to say, this is not a monarch, theocracy or whatever. And, you know, in all respects, when you have a country, you are actually serving something. You're either serving idols or you're serving the one living God. So you know what I mean? I'm trying to think of the word right now. It's like monotheistic. They say this is a democracy. This is not even a democracy. It's a republic, or it used to be. But my point is, I can't believe I can't remember the name right now. I'm having a brain fart, if you will. But it's when you have a God that is king over the entire earth, or your land. And to be honest with you, man, if you don't serve God, you're serving something. You're serving the devil, or you're serving idols. Idols don't speak, they don't hear, and they cannot answer your prayer or understand what you're saying. And the devil is not working for your good. He's working to destroy you and lead you to be where he's going to be for eternity. And that's the truth of it all. So you know what I mean? Your church, separation of church and state. Oh, trust me, we'd be better off if we served God like ancient Israel did. I'm not saying stoning each other and stuff like that, but I'm saying that we should have a certain, you know what I mean? We should have our and maybe capital punishment to an extent where it comes down to people like what I saw in the news yesterday, a guy that like he had killed like a little kid and they found him like all in a box and stuff like that. Those kind of people, yeah, they do deserve capital punishment in my honest opinion. I don't think that taxpayers should pay to fill jails up to put these scumbags away and fill up, all these prison cells and, let the government make money off of us that way. We should put them to sleep for good. You want to commit a conscious act of hate and hurt somebody that is innocent and do all that, you have forfeited your right to live. You are not fit to live. You're just not. And if you guys think that's wrong, all right, well, why don't we just, you know what I mean? Why don't we just let open lawlessness be our God and just do whatever seems right in our own eyes? What do you think is going to be safer to do? We can't misplace our compassion and look at the enemy and say, oh, well, boys will be boys or whatever. No, we have to become bold enough now to point out and say what, call a spade, and then we have to punish people that do bad things that are so you need to be on the side of life and humanity and saneness, and people that promote sin. You know what I read in the Bible all the time is that whenever somebody sins, somebody in his family and his descendants are going to do the same thing because it influences them. When you see this kind of stuff going on in society, like how Urban Outfitters is glorifying the Kent State Massacre and all that, and they're doing that, this is all, I used to work at Urban Outfitters in 2007 or 8, and I remember that they started putting out that Obama propaganda t-shirt, and I didn't realize that at the time. I was very ignorant at that time. I've only been a Christian for 2.5 years, and I had a dramatic conversion. But anyway, what's crazy though is that when you do that, you don't understand that you are influencing that kind of stuff for people to do that, because it gives them the idea that to do that, because there's so much emptiness in the world and people are willing to do that and throw away their lives, man. And you know what I mean? You cannot let the devil influence people. You got to be able to stand up and rebuke him. And yeah, those that lose their life shall find it, and those that want to keep their life, they're going to lose it. I said that backward, but it's the truth. If you're just afraid to stand up to evil, you're going to lose your life because you're letting them prevail over you. But if you are bold enough to stand up against evil and you know that God's with you, man, I believe that you'll be all right and that you'll be an influence and that you'll be a good influence and you'll down the line of your descendants, man. When God looks at you, he doesn't just look at you. He sees your sons and your grandchildren, and he's looking out for you, man, big time. TFP Student Action released a statement. Every black mass is a direct, deliberate, and sinful act of hatred. I just read that, I think. Against God. Typically, a consecrated host is stolen from the Catholic Church and then used to desecrate, mock, and insult the Catholic Mass. The person of our Lord Jesus Christ is attacked in a most vile and unspeakable manner. I don't think that's who you guys actually worship, though. These insults against God are not only offensive to Christians, but also repulsive to everyone of goodwill. I'm not offended by anything. I'm not surprised. I live in a world that's fallen by sin. I'm not surprised when I see men beating up women all the time, when I see women acting horrible like they shouldn't, they should have more respect for themselves. I'm not surprised by any of this. I'm not offended by insults and by empty threats, because God makes you able to just not care about the things of the civilians, but he makes you a good soldier, only worried about like how they describe Christ. He was consumed with the will of his Father. That's the way you need to be. You cannot get distracted by what the world does. You're not gonna fix it either. But you can do something about your immediate family and your community, and you can serve as a good influence. And maybe that'll spread. Maybe that'll go around, and everybody will take notice and want to follow that example. When government buildings open their doors and allow a satanic black mass that offends God so deeply, it begs the question: are we still one nation under God now? We haven't been in a long time. We're pretty much atheist. We're pretty much, even Obama said we're not a Christian nation, and he's a Muslim. And he's letting, the border stay open so that the terrorists can get in. He's not trying to go after the ISIS in the Middle East, it seems. It's just, I don't know how obvious it can get to you guys. I mean, even though I point this out to people that I know, they still don't believe me. They think that Obama's a good person. They feel bad for him because all the people in the world are don't like him. And it's like, why don't you get a clue then? I understand what you're saying. I care about a person's soul as much as any other Christian, but when somebody is evil, when somebody lets evil dwell among them and in them and influence them, and they become deluded and they become corrupted by it, they need to be stopped. Okay? I live, you know what I mean? My life is valuable, and I believe that everybody's life is valuable, and when there's people like that are trying to bring us down and create genocide and stuff, it's like, relax. You need to tell that person to relax, and you tell everybody about him, because you cannot let that continue, man. It's nonsensical to let an evil person run around and do whatever he wants. This is not the way that we should be. Adam and Eve fell in the Garden of Eden, and this is the curse that we live under, that we just stand by and let the devil lie to us and let us and we let him influence us to disobey and to believe in his lies and whatnot, and to just stand back and let him get his way. We have been freed from that curse. We don't need to be that way no more, because we got God on our side, and He can use you. He may use you, man. You never know, for a big thing, man. He's God. When government, okay, there you go. The statement continued: to invite Satan into a community is no joke. It's a terrible sin that brings devils to the earth and provokes God to withdraw His graces and blessings, which are being done right now. WND reported another satanic group, the Satanic Temple, based in New York, had planned to hold a black mass on the campus of Harvard University in May. Unbelievable. But the event was canceled after an onslaught of public outrage followed national media attention. The Archdiocese of Boston also fought the event. I don't even know how you say that, and I don't care. Catholics are not the only group expressing outrage about the prospect of a black mass being held in the private civic center of a Bible Belt town like Oklahoma City. Harry Himmett, Vice President of Legal Affairs and Chief Litigation Counsel for Liberty Counsel, said Oklahoma City should not allow its public facilities to be used by a satanic group for the sole purpose of mocking, insulting, and offending their faiths through a lewd and lascivious act. Lascivious, I like that word. Or lascivious, I don't know how you say that. The perverted sexual deviance characteristic of a black mass ought to remain in the dark tombs and catacombs where it originated, and should not see the light of day in a civilized society, much less on public property, he said. Yeah, as soon as Israel started becoming influenced by all of the people around them and they started to become pagan, they went into exile. Kind of seems to repeat itself over and over, too. Meanwhile, the Washington Times reported the Satanic Temple will distribute pamphlets to students in Orange County, Florida, schools under a policy that allows religious materials to be handed out. We think the responsible thing to do is to ensure that these students are given access to a variety of differing religious opinions, as opposed to standing idly by while one religious voice dominates the discourse and delivers propaganda to youth, said Temple spokesman Lucien Greaves. There you have it, folks. Like I said, postmodernism is going to rein in the open paganism to this licentious and opportunistic society that we live in now. So be on the lookout. I say watch out. Watch out for everybody around you and let them know. And even if they don't believe you, man, I hear you. I get it all the time. People all over the place, they never believe the things that I say. They never believe the things that I do. They're just... People out there, man, are lost, man, and you got to kind of stand up for the truth and proclaim it boldly and hope that the Holy Spirit does something with it. But with that, I say thank you for watching, and God bless you. Have a good day.